Hello everybody, Joel here. So today's project, I've got 7 window wells on my house. The house was built approximately 2014, 2015. Right now it's May of 2020. And these 7 window wells, we have some really heavy clay soil here in this part of Minnesota on the border of North Dakota. And when this house was backfilled, since then the clay has settled a little bit. The soils have settled a little bit. You can kind of see under here. Could use a little bit more fill, some more compaction down there. But I can see that it has dropped down a little bit, and the water is likely sloping. When we get a heavy rain, the water will slope back. It's causing a problem with these window wells. Now I have seen these window wells at Menards. They're a decent window well, they're nice and big, but you can see down there it's buckling in. My wife noticed it last summer, and it's really buckling in over here too. And it's gotten much worse. So we've got to address the slope of the drainage for one. And the other thing is I don't want to have to dig these things totally out. That's going to make a mess. Got the lawn here, and really tearing all of this up would be a big issue. So what I'm going to do is take some threaded rod and run through the ground from one side to the other and tie these together. And then I've got some stakes. You can see this side hasn't pushed in very much. It's got a little bit of a bow in there. But the other side has got a big crack on the bottom. So on those sides where I can only tie into the dirt, I found a couple of tie back. They're like a drill-in stake, and I'm going to try those. I want to anchor a couple of those in, and then after that, once I get the rods in and the anchors in, I've got these galvanized pieces of flat stock that I got from work that I'll use as an up and down. Just to kind of tie them back, and we'll see how that works. That will give me some strength to hold it together, at least to keep it from getting any worse. And if time comes and I have to dig them out sometime, then that's what I'll have to do. But for now, we'll fix the slope and we'll get these things anchored back so we don't have a catastrophic failure. So the plan is this. In between the window well, I've got this all thread that I'm going to cut. I've already measured it, got my mark here. I'll be able to use a 10-foot stick here of 1/2 inch all thread or threaded rod. And then I've got some couplings because I'm not going to be able to get the entire length down inside the window well to be able to drill it, or pound it across. So I'm going to have to use a coupling. So I'll cut these in half once I get the right length that I want. And then I'll have to join them with these couplings here. It's just a threaded coupling. And then I've got some nuts here that I'll be able to use for stop nuts and to be able to nut that galvanized steel back on. And I'm going to try to drill it across with this impact driver. We'll see if I can have some luck with that. I'll double nut the end of the all thread, and I'll try to drill it through the soil to the other side. I'm going to get the grinder out and grind a point on the end of the all thread. We'll see if that works. These are the auger style stakes that I got from Menards. That's what I'm going to put into the outsides where I can't get the all thread between 2 window wells. I'll auger these in and put the steel plates on to hold the window wells back and hold the soil back with that. So we'll see what we got, see what we can get going. I found that a portable bandsaw works really well for cutting all thread, so it doesn't bung up the ends of the threads. And usually when you get into this larger sized all thread, you can not worry about the threads going bad. You can get that nut threaded on there pretty easily. So go ahead and cut this piece. has a pretty nice cut. Okay, so I went ahead and I cut each one of them in half. So I'll go ahead and thread the coupling on to one end. Those threads were not too shabby. Let's see, this one might give me a fuss, but we'll try it. I spoke too soon. Let's try this one. Good. I'll have to doctor this one up just a touch. Got a little bit of a ding on it right at the end. I don't know if you can see it here. There's a tiny little ding on the thread that won't allow the coupling to go on there. So I'll just file that back just a hair and we'll be good to go. That'll take care of us, just a little triangle file. Let's see what we can do. See if that opened up the thread enough. It's better. A little more. There we go. All right. Okay, now I'll grind up the ends a little bit, put a little point on them for driving them across through to the other window well. That bit of grinding gave me a little bit of a point on there. I think I'll be satisfied with that. And I will throw some duct tape on the end of this as I drive it through with the impact driver. And then I'll take that tape off, and the threads are pretty decent. They look good anyways. Yeah. Good to go. So I'll sharpen up the other point and and we'll take these outside and see if we can't drill them across. Well, the first order of business will be to clean out the bottom of the window well. There's a dead metal vole in there, and that's always a little unpleasant to have to work around, so get that cleaned out. I don't know if any of you have experience with metal voles around your place, but they just make a mess in the yard. So these are good traps for metal voles. If you ever want to have a metal vole trap, just put in a big window well. It's all right, the maggots almost had it all eaten up anyways. It's hammer time. Let's see if we can tap this thing over with the hammer, maybe make a mark on the other side, and I can go over and drill it. I didn't leave that end sharp enough, I don't think, to get through this plastic. Let's have a look at this. I pulled this back out, the rod, and put a sharper tip on it at the grinder, so we can impale something with this. Maybe we can get it through that other side. have a look. And there it is. Perfect. Well, I think we're through. Let's go have a look. There it is, right down there on the bottom. Right down in there. So the top one ended up about 6 inches low. The bottom one came through about right on the money. So I'll start working on the plates, get those set and ready to go. I drilled a couple holes in this steel galvanized, so I'll go ahead and put that on this side and I'll work on getting the other side put on. this one off to get that nut on there. Go grab the grinder with the cutoff wheel. I know better to not be banging on that awl thread when you're counting on getting those nuts back off again. But I guess I've been in this situation before too. Don't usually have that guard off. I'm not sure why that guard is off now, but should have taken a minute to put that back on. Okay, we're in a north window well now. I might regret not having put some duct tape on that top one. I'm gonna have to wipe that off. We'll cut these down. Grab the one with the guard on it this time. Got another meadow vole over here, tucked down in that corner. Doesn't look very good. So my video cut out, unfortunately. The coupling had came apart in the middle on this top all thread. So I'm just going to go ahead, I'll get this part fixed back up here. I had to pull it back out. I was able to tighten the coupling back up. It had bottomed out for whatever reason, and the one side just came right out. So I was able to pull it out. I got it pushed back in, got my vice grip on there, just holding it tight. I'm going to go put this coupling on and this nut down below. We'll get these on and then we'll show you the finished product. I'll get a close-up view of what's going on here. So this is the one that I had trouble with. Came apart. I had to drill the hole a little bigger so I could pull it out to get the coupling through. But once I got it tightened up and the other piece put back on, I was able to shove it right through to the other side, and it is on the galvanized backer on the other side. So this one down here is on nice and tight. I'll grind that off so I don't have the edge of the spear hanging out there. There's my metal buddy hanging out in the corner, and I think I've got another one under some leaves over here. So yeah, real pleasant. But I'll go ahead and I'll get this. The reason I put this extension on here, and I'll use this nut to go through the hole, is I needed a little length. I had cut it off and I cut too much off, so I need to have a little bit of wiggle room. So I'll go ahead and put these together right through here. Get that put in, and I think we'll have it. So here's the other side, all tightened up, and I think I found out what my problem was. When I was putting the impact driver onto the nut here, the all thread was spinning also, and that made it bottom out in the coupling and it came loose. So this is the one that happened to. I got it put back together. That didn't happen down below here, fortunately. So I was lucky there. But I think I've got the bleeding stopped. You can see where I had a crack in the blowout here. I think we got it just in time. Sort of been bad. This window needs to open up past here, and it's got plenty of clearance to get past. But as I tightened it up, I needed to hold this with channel lock so it would not spin. Otherwise the entire all thread and nut would spin, and then that's what would make it pull right back out again. So there we have it. Thank you for watching. Any questions or comments? I've got a lot of work yet to do. This needs to be backfilled. You can see where it's pulled apart. It's come in about 1 inch or 2 inches. I can't tell from here, but I've got to bring this grade up a little bit so the water drains better. But and the same thing over on this side. And the builder did not fill in underneath the front porch very well, so I have to pull all these rocks back and kind of start from scratch. And then I'll work on this side. This one's got the pretty big blowout. This is the side I'll use the anchors on. I'll drill them in and we'll do the same thing. I don't know how well those anchors are going to hold up in the pea gravel, but I guess all we can do is give it a try and see how it goes. Thanks for watching.